uh, how I look at it is that native plants are firstly plants belonging to your biogeographic region. So it begins by understanding what my biogeographic region is. I am in Delhi, south of Delhi. We are at the confluence of the semi-arid Aravalli, ancient Aravalli range, and the Yamuna floodplains. So uh, there are different habitats. There's a lot of biodiversity, but our plantation or our choice of plants should be dictated by these two habitat types or these two forest types. Second, these plants, native plants, would be those plants which are found on our historical records. If you go back to what the Britishers were doing, keeping records of the native flora and fauna, there's a lot of information telling you what the forest was like before this development surge of degradation started. Apart from that, there are also some fortunately there's some areas which we can call as reference sites which are left around us undisturbed, not degraded at all, almost like a pristine forest. There are lots of examples you would know of also, and people listening would also, like Mangarbani, Parson Temple, or even some parts of Asola. There are these sites that you can study and then try and replicate understand what a native plant would be for that region. These plants are also well suited to the hot and cold of Delhi, these extreme weather conditions that they are here. And if you keep these guiding principles in mind, you can make your own bank of what native species would be like. And there's lots of good work done by Pradeep Kishan, Vijay Dashmana, which can be used as a guiding tool towards understanding what are native plants. But as a biological definition, it's a very hard concept to wrap your head around. For example, Imli everybody would believe is an Indian native plant. It's even called Tamarind indica. So, but it's a sub-Saharan African plant. So there's a lot of confusion. Scientists and researchers can discuss that. Taxonomists can have a detailed paper on it. But for a layman, these are the guiding principles, or at least this is what I go by. And
Imli and Neem, both of them highly debated.
Yes. And of course, why these plants are important is because these plants, native plants, share a ancient evolutionary relationship with the local wildlife, be it your porcupines, jackals, or be it your birds and butterflies. And this cannot be replicated using exotics. So, like Pradeep says a lot of times that if you get a polar bear from the Arctic and keep it in Delhi Zoo, you would have to provide refrigeration. So if I get some plant from South America, it needs to be in a tropical place. So that's why it's important. These plants will also need less water. They will do well without any care because they're well adapted to this area. And getting exotics has this danger that we all know of. Like a great example is this Prosopis juliflora, Vilaiti kikar. Some brought here with good intentions, and now dire invasive threat to most forests in our region. There's some forests and tropical forests where it hasn't taken hold, but our forests, especially forests which have seen a little level of degradation, that's where it does very well. And plants like that pose a great threat. So yeah, eucalyptus is also a great example.
Yeah,
so this is
always, I always think of German shepherds and I think, oh my gosh, how uncomfortable they must be